All right, we've got a special guest today. Utah Jazz baller Donovan Mitchell is joining us, and we've had a conversation about the best story of the first half. That's what we've been talking about already. Outside of what the Jazz have been doing, what do you think has been the best story of the first half of the NBA season?
Honestly, I mean, you look at the team last year with the Lakers, you look what they're doing, for them to be able to top in the West. I think for basketball fans as a whole, I think that's, one of the more exciting things for sure for NBA basketball. You look at what Luka's been doing, Trae Young's been doing, man, there's a lot, for sure. But I think those three really stick out for me. And obviously, the LA rivalry, that's always huge, and it's always something I feel like is to be talked about.
Bet.
Donovan,
outside of us, I should say.
Of course, outside of you guys.
Donovan, I've been wanting to know this for months. So early in the season, there was a play against the Thunder where a fan sitting courtside said, "Donovan, do something cool." And then you had an amazing dunk right after. Did you hear the fan?
I actually didn't. I said I did, but I didn't hear it.
You said you did.
No, I didn't. I didn't hear him at all, actually. I didn't hear him at all.
Speaking of dunks, though, so I remember earlier this season, I was watching this crazy, I was actually in Sports Center screening where they have all the TVs up, and I saw this crazy dunk that you had, and I was going hype, I get up, and then it was against the Bucks, I hope you remember, and then the referee would not let you be great. What did he call?
Oh, man, he called a travel.
What were you thinking?
That was crazy. I was pissed. I wasn't playing, particularly well. I was kind of turning the ball over a little bit, so that kind of got me going, and he took that away from me. That was tough. Rudy had a big block to start it, and then I came and finished it with a dunk, even though it didn't count. I was a little ticked off on that one.
Do you think they're like a little tighter this year on travels or not?
I think so. I think they're doing a good job of it too. I think, there are times where you look back and realize it is a travel, but at the end of the day, a call's a call. You got to respect it. But, it's tough to do all that in live action. It's tough for sure.
Donovan, did you know this stat that you guys are 15-1 since you've had Baby Yoda as your avatar?
Yeah, I try not to acknowledge it as much, as I can. I'm superstitious that way, but, I got Jordan Clarkson here.
Yo.
What I know? Gang.
Okay. But no, I think, shout out to my guy, his name is Brian Phelps. He's the guy that created it, Baby Yoda. I think that was, I couldn't play in DC, but I made sure I got us some shoes. But, things are going well. We're 9-0 10-0 since we added Jordan Clarkson, and Rajon Tucker hasn't lost in the NBA yet. So, we're doing things well, and we just got to keep going.
Yeah, he's been a big boost. Now, I have another question because if you think about it, we all know, where my vote's going to go. We go way back, Adidas 3-stripe life, right? My All-Star vote, you already got it on lock, right? But a lot of people have been also talking about Rudy Gobert just because, big guys don't get enough love. We always say big girls need more love. Big guys don't get enough love. Back-to-back Defensive Player of the Year. And I think they were talking about, like, in the balloting, they took off a center category. So it made it even more competitive and harder for centers to get love. What has Rudy brought to you guys, especially in this, this streak?
Yeah, he's been playing out of his mind. Defensively, he's a guy we rely on. Obviously, we all know that. He's a guy that's been, continuously there, the support, the backbone, vocal leader, lead by example. Offensively, he's taken his game to new heights. I think he's gotten like 20 and 15 the past, 5 games. And the biggest thing is he's just unselfish, want to go out there and do his thing and wants to win, most importantly. We all know what happened last year, and I think we all know that he was snubbed of an All-Star. So for us, it's just trying to find ways to get him in. I think we really want him in, and I think he wants to be in. He won't say it, I'll say it for him. But he deserves to be an All-Star, and I think he will.
Well, last night you and Kyrie did a jersey swap. I was curious about that relationship. How long have you guys known each other, and is there a friendship there?
Yeah, I really got to know Kyrie after this past summer. A lot of my questions from him came from the signature shoe area, kind of figuring out how that whole process works, and he's done so many great collaborations with, obviously SpongeBob and the cereal pack. So that's really where it started. And then from there, we just became, pretty cool. He's a guy, before I got to the NBA, I was a Cleveland fan, so when he hit that shot, I was in my dorm room going crazy. So that wasn't too long ago. So, because I think that was pretty cool to be able to exchange jerseys with him, and for him to be back home, I think is good for him and good for basketball. And but yeah, that's where it started.
Could you talk about the custom kicks you wore last night for the Wildfires in Australia?
Yeah. So right when I saw I think it was every player in the NBA who's from Australia give their donations, I was like, I kind of want to do my part. I've been to Australia with USA Basketball, so really, the fans were great. Even though they cheered against us, they were still respectful and great, and I loved it my time down there. So, I hit up my guy Jordan from Adidas, and he made it happen. We got the one for Australia, and then I saw what happened in Puerto Rico, and the very major earthquake down there. So I wanted to be able to give back and just use my platform to just give back. And we're auctioning off the shoes very soon, and all the money will go towards both Puerto Rico's relief and Australia relief as well.
That's awesome. Coming from your three-stripe life sister, I have a question for you. Do you remember where the first time we met was?
Oh snap! Put on the.
It was.
Was it at in Brooklyn?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
See,
and what happened
remember,
there?
That's when I found out privately that I got my own shoe.
And he welcomed me to the family. So I was there. We were celebrating. It was so cool. We went up to this little private bougie room. His family was there, and they unveiled the shoe, and I was a part of that process. So first of all, I want to say thank you for welcoming me into your family, especially through Adidas.
Thank you.
And also in this season, I remember midway through the season, he made sure I always was the first to have his shoes.
Lit.
The black and green ones. It was always lit. He's always looking out. So my question is, what is your favorite shoe? You have so many different iterations. Which one is your favorite colorway?
I think that's tough. The Greatest Country Day ones.
Ooh.
I don't know if y'all hear that yelling. Somebody's watching a loud video. But I think the Greatest Country Day ones, I think, are one of my favorites for sure. The Mountain ones, obviously paying tribute to Karl Malone, the Mailman ones, and the Fire Engine. The Fire Engine is near and dear to my heart. I think for sure those are shoes that are really near and dear to my heart for sure.
All right, before we close this thing off, your guys, Louisville, won in overtime last night. I know you guys were playing. Did you get to see that one? Did you get to watch them play?
I didn't get to watch that game, but I watched as much as I possibly can.
Okay, so what do you think about your guys this season? What are you expecting out of them?
I think, we're really good. We're really talented. I think the biggest things we're having are ups and downs, but, I'd rather have our ups and downs in January than trying to have that in March, so we're figuring things out, but we're winning through it. Obviously, we had that little streak where we were number one for a little bit, but we got a lot of talented guys who are really committed to the work, and, Jordan Award is an NBA caliber player. Ryan McMahon's my best friend, who's a guy I played with. He's a lethal shooter, so you got Sam, you got Malik, Darius, Steve, you got so many guys, and once we all lock in, we'll be good by March for sure. Coach Mack has done a great job getting them ready to go.
He's done a great job. You guys are doing a great job. You have the Pelicans tomorrow at 8 p.m. We will see you guys. Then hopefully you get the dub. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Donovan, no trouble.
Thank you guys.
Refs will never call travel on you ever again. We want all the dunks.
I got you. Appreciate it.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports analysis and highlights, download the ESPN app. And for live streaming and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.